I did a new kind of fasting where I actually just used collagen, which sounds kind of wild and kind of weird and almost like I'm making something up. But I've done bone broth fasts for years, but the issue that I had with bone broth fasts is I always got really hungry when I would do a bone broth fast. It's like it was enough of a food to make me feel hungry. And it actually kind of make me frustrated, even though I got really good gut benefit from it because I dealt with ulcerative colitis as a kid. I've had IBS for a long time, and doing occasional fasting and bone broth fasting really helped me out there. So, full disclosure, like there's not a ton of scientific evidence on this collagen fasting thing, but I think there's something there. And I'll talk about sort of the scientific reasoning behind it. And then we'll get into the actual strategy that I did. I did it for 36 hours. I'm going to start doing it again. And I just kind of wanted to get it out there and see if anyone else has tried this. If you have, comment down below if you're interested in trying it. I think it's a pretty inexpensive, simple thing to try. And I'm a fan of fasting anyway. It looks like collagen in the mix is anyway, I'll just explain it. But first off, like I noticed my joints felt a lot better. And I don't think that collagen was like I was repairing connective tissue or anything that fast. However, I could see how over the long haul, this could help like actually contribute to more connective tissue benefit because there is such thing as connective tissue protein synthesis. It's why like post-workout, I recommend people having whey with collagen because collagen protein, it's not just like these peptides are assimilated just like the rest of whey protein. Like they do act different. They actually act as a signaling device for the collagen to go to the right place. So there is legit evidence there. So it makes sense from a collagen or a connective tissue protein synthesis thing that avoiding all other food and just having collagen coming in could have a more profound impact on connective tissue protein synthesis. Again, I'm speculating, so don't hate me for that, but it makes some sense. The other reason it might have just felt simply so good is that you're having elevated levels of glycine. Like collagen is 33% glycine, which is kind of an antioxidant amino acid to begin with. It drives down reactive oxygen species. It's a very calming sort of amino. So in that sense, like maybe my joints just felt really good. A lot of times when I do a normal fast, which I love, I do feel a little stiff and rigid. It's almost like I feel I have so much norepinephrine and epinephrine going that like I'm good, I'm strong, but I feel like less mobile. I feel like I don't have that fluidity. With the collagen fasting, I felt that more. Like I felt like I was able to be fluid. And I think that was because of the glycine. And I mean, all collagens are going to have the same amount of glycine. I definitely recommend if you're doing this, you use a collagen that is more grass-fed, grass-finished, and like clean. Personally, I used Bubs. They provided me with the collagen for this, so big thank you to Bubs for that. I'll link out to them down below. There's a discount link as well if you want to try them out. They're just clean and simple. Okay, it's pure bovine, grass-fed, grass-finished collagen. So it makes it really easy with no hidden stuff in it. It's tasteless. It mixes super easy in water. Especially for me doing a fasting-like thing, I wanted to keep it as clean and simple. I wanted to keep it as close to just water as possible. Like simple, like nothing added to it, no fillers, no emulsifiers, no flavors. So if you want like a really simple bovine grass-fed, grass-finished collagen, that would definitely be the one that I recommend. And they've got a really good cause. And quite frankly, if I can just be real with you, they're good people, like honest people. And I think there's like a stewardship that goes with that. And Sean Lake, the owner, he's a super solid guy. And I just appreciate what he's doing. So that link down below gets you a discount off of Bubs Collagen. Highly recommend it. So the other piece is the targeted amino acid support for the gut. Like with bone broth, you're getting collagen, but you're not getting the same concentrated amount of collagen that you're getting with just pure collagen protein, right? So that targeted amino acid support for the gut with the proline, the glycine, the hydroxyproline, these are building blocks for the gut mucosal layer, which is all stuff that we see again with bone broth, but bone broth's really expensive, collagen is literally cheaper, and you're getting more concentrated amounts of these aminos that we're looking for that targeted support. So digestively, I don't know if I've ever felt smoother. And I'm not talking about from like a bowel movement side of things. I didn't realize how much almost tension and bloating I would have in my gut. It almost felt like I was 5 days into a regular fast after just 24 hours. It's like my gut was calm. The other thing is that collagen can help aid in that gut mucosal hydration, right? So you're getting more hydration going into the gut. And again, this is somewhat connecting dots, right? I know the research based on glycine. I know some of the research based on collagen. I am just a fan of these like simple things where I reduce all other variables and add it into the mix. I could have been placeboing myself, but quite frankly, I've talked to a few other close friends that have tried it too. They're like, hey, this actually felt really darn good. Now, the biggest thing that I noticed is that glycine is super calming. So I had this like neurological calm. And if you've fasted, you know that your brain is lit up. to some degree, it's almost hard to turn it off, right? Like if you're someone that meditates or anything, like when you're fasting, you can get to that meditative state faster in many ways, but your brain is really loud in the beginning. Okay, and that's normal because you are lighting up your prefrontal cortex because you're not eating, and your prefrontal cortex is saying, I need to go find food. Okay, you need to kind of turn down that default mode network a little bit to get to that calm state. And glycine is just so known for the neurological calm and for the sleep. So I need to do longer fasts with this to experiment with it more. But what I found is that having the collagen and the glycine before bed, I was actually able to sleep, whereas normally with fasting, I'm pretty wired when they're overnights, like when I'm doing multiple days. I actually get very little sleep because I'm so wired with high norepinephrine and just adrenaline. So this was a breath of fresh air with that, actually being able to sleep, which could have contributed to why I felt so good doing it too. Now, I guess the downside is that technically collagen and glycine and some of these aminos are going to downregulate autophagy, right? You're not going to have as much autophagy, but I encourage you to think of it like this, okay? Glycine itself has cytoprotective effects. It has cellular effects that actually protect the cell, namely in the liver, right? So this is kind of cool. So you have like a liver protective effect. So even though you're turning down some of the cellular recycling because autophagy is being blunted with the protein, you're getting additional benefits. So this is almost like a restorative type fast, whereas like a regular fast might be breaking you down with all the benefits that come from that. This might be slightly building you up, okay? Again, hypothetical based on what I'm experiencing and connecting dots. Maybe some research should be done on this, but it's still very fascinating. If you have done this or if you're looking at trying it, comment down below too, because the engagement really helps. And I'm curious if anyone's like up for trying this. I mean, it's not that hard to do, right? One of the things that I will say though, I think it's imperative that you work out while you're doing this, because working out is going to increase its own autophagy, right? You don't need to be in a fasted state for autophagy. You can be simply in a caloric deficit, you can be working out or doing cardio or resistance training, and it's going to induce autophagy. So since you are having some protein coming in from the collagen, I would recommend that you induce autophagy via other ways, right? So exercise, things like that, as much as you can. Sauna is also a really good one here. I didn't sauna during mine, but it would make sense that adding sauna to the mix would be very, very, very beneficial. Here's the protocol that I followed. Okay, I work out first thing in the morning. So I got up, I still had my green tea. Okay, I still had that. So caveat, green tea, and then I had 10 grams of collagen before going into my workout, which I've been doing somewhat recently anyway, and it feels really good. And then post-workout, about a half an hour after my workout, I had another 10 grams of collagen. So we're talking mega loading this collagen here. Then I didn't have any, and then at lunchtime, I had bone broth. I did not have regular collagen. Okay, so I had bone broth because I wanted more salt, I wanted some electrolytes. There's usually like a little bit of apple cider vinegar. There's usually some other things that I wanted to get out of the bone broth, right? Then dinner time comes around and I did another serving of bone broth, but I added more collagen to it. Okay, so I had 5 grams of collagen alongside my bone broth. Okay, so what it looks like, so it was 10 grams pre-workout, 10 grams post, bone broth, and then bone broth plus 5 grams. So I'm just getting all this extra collagen. And then lastly, right before bed, I had 3 grams of pure glycine. Okay, so glycine I knew was the primary like constituent of the actual collagen that was gonna make me feel calm and help me sleep. So I did 3 grams, which is really the dose that we see in the literature with glycine for sleep, for memory, for being an oxidative stress reducer. Highly good research there. Like you could do any search on Google or ChatGPT and find that that's legit. I'm not making that up. So the 3 grams of glycine I thought would be just an added bonus. And then when I got up the next morning, I did the same thing, okay? 10 grams pre-workout, 10 grams post, except my post-workout was also my break fast. So I had collagen and whey protein at that one. So I broke my fast with 10 grams of collagen and my normal whey protein dose. Okay, and then after that, I kind of went into my normal diet after that. But again, I have to do this more times to kind of vet it out. But if you want to hear more about it, if you want me to do more experiments on this, then let me know. This was sort of my answer to all these other people doing the sugar diet, things like that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. Instead of sugar fasting, I'm going to try collagen fasting and go a way that I feel to be a little bit more metabolically productive. So as always, keep it locked in here, my channel. And again, a big thank you to Bubs. Make sure you try them out down below in the top line of the description.